Hi everyone, welcome back to yoga. My name is Ashley. Today we are going to be working towards Bird of Paradise and its revolved variation. Bird of Paradise is a bound posture and it's a big hip opener and hamstring opener. So I'm going to ask you to grab a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can grab a belt, a scarf, a tie, a t-shirt that you don't mind stretching out. Anything at all, a rope if you have one, an extension cord, I don't know, the options are endless. But if you have any of those things as an arm extender, please go ahead and grab those now. And without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Feel free to close your eyes or gaze at a point out in front of you and connect to your natural breath. Just take a moment here to connect with yourself just as you are in this moment, greeting yourself as you show up to your practice today. No judgment, just awareness. This class is intermediate level, so always feel free, as with any class, to rest, skip things, use props as necessary, even if they're not mentioned in the class. Most importantly, take care of yourself as you practice today. Take a full breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Breathe naturally. And gently open your eyes. Please begin in downward facing dog. Make sure your hands are shoulder distance. Index fingers point straight ahead. Grip the floor with all 10 fingertips and push the inner edges of your hands down. Reach your inner thighs back and wide as you take your heels toward the floor. Feel free to, of course, bend your knees instead of straightening your legs if it serves your back and your legs better. Take your feet one step closer to your hands and bend your knees quite a bit. Cross your right ankle over your left knee for figure 4 dog. Clamp your right heel toward your right hip as you bend your left knee and reach your heart closer to your shin. And breathe here. Maybe just let your head hang heavy, or you can keep it kind of activated in your neck by looking straight down or slightly forward. Totally up to you. Switch sides, left ankle over your right knee. Bend your knee, clamp your heel toward your hip. Breathe here, grow your arms longer. Unhook your foot, regular down dog, one more breath. Bring your feet together, knees together. Bend your knees, keep your toes curled under, and set your knees as close to your toes as you can. Walk your hands back and slide your knees back, and then sit up on your heels. From here, interlace your fingers in front of your heart, clamp your fingers closed, take the backs of your hands on top of your head. Pull your elbows apart as you push your arms towards straight, and rotate your upper inner arms toward the wall behind you. Watch out for ribs flaring forward, pull them back, and press your tailbone forward. And breathe here, grow longer in your spine. Take your hands to the floor. Take the tops of your feet to the floor for Vajrasana, hands bound behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Squeeze your shoulders toward each other. Then reach your arms towards straight. Tone your abdomen, round your spine, and bring forehead to or toward your knees without lifting your hips. Feel free to take forehead instead in front of your knees if you'd like less rounding of the spine. Actively move your shoulders away from the floor as you fold forward. Great training for what's to come. Inhale, slowly sit back up. Release your hands, shake out your arms, and then come up to downward facing dog. Bring your feet together, and then step your right foot outside your right hand for dog lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor, and then walk your hands forward and to the left. Swing your hips slightly to the left, right knee to the right, and push your back foot down and to the right as you let your head drop between your arms. Walk your hands back to under your shoulders, and then take your right foot, heel toe it into the middle of your mat, front midline, and then step your back foot in one step. Line up your right heel with your left center arch. Work your right leg towards straight as you draw right hip back, left hip forward for Parshvo Tanasana. Then maybe walk your hands forward and forward fold, forehead to knee. Push your legs longer. Keep your breath breathing. Funky triangle, lengthen your spine. Take your left hand a little to the left. You can use a block under your hand, totally fine. Take your right big toe off the floor so you're on your pinky toe, and then come onto the outer edge of your left foot, your back foot. Then lean a little to your left, and then reach your right arm open to the right. You get this huge stretch down the entire right side of your right leg. It's great. Untwist, lower your hand, press back, downward dog. Step your left foot outside your left hand for dog lunge, back heel to the floor, walk your hands forward and to the right. Widen your left knee to the left, push your right foot to the left and swing your hips slightly to your right. Don't hold your breath as you hold the pose. Parshvo Tanasana, walk your hands back, heel toe your left foot to the front midline of your mat, step your right foot in a step, line up your left heel with your right arch. Work your left leg towards straight as you draw your left hip back, right hip forward. Then re-lengthen your spine. And then fold forward, heart first, head last. Maybe walk your arms forward and breathe here. Funky triangle. Come up onto your left outer foot, left big toe off the floor. Spin your back outer foot to the floor. Lean to your right, and then lift your left arm up. And hold here. Feel free to gaze wherever feels best for your neck. Lower your hand, press back, downward dog. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Keep your left hand under your left shoulder. Back heel vertical. Take right hand to right thigh and twist to your right. Take your right arm up toward the ceiling for twisted lunge. Tack your right hip back, left hip forward. Maybe turn your gaze toward your right fingertips. From here, you can stay or flip to your outer back foot just like you did in Funky Triangle. Take your left hand slightly forward and to the left and let your right big toe come off the floor again. And then let your hips drop just a little bit as you clamp your right heel toward your right hip. Similar to that one pose where we take the hip all the way down, only slightly different. You're activating your outer left leg more here. And you're activating your outer right hip more. It's a little bit more work. Lower your hand to the floor. Do your best to finagle your way out of this position back to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward outside your left hand under your right shoulder, back heel vertical, left hand to thigh, and twist. Maybe take your left arm up. Breathe here. Stay working here, or walk your right hand forward and to the right, spin your outer right foot to the floor, lift your left big toe off the floor, let your hips drop a little bit, but push through both feet. Pull your left heel like you're trying to clamp it toward your hip, and breathe. Downward facing dog. Step or jump to the front of your mat. Bring your feet together, bend your knees, ribs to thighs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, heart first, head last. Maybe take your face to your shins. Inhale, stand up, reach your arms all the way over your head. Then exhale, draw your palms in front of your heart. Bring your arms by your side. Turn and face the long edge of your mat. Come to the middle of your mat. Chandra Namaskar. Inhale your arms up. Interlace your fingers. Extend pointer finger, cross your thumbs. Reach tall. Lean hips to your left, torso to your right. Crescent. Inhale, reach up. Hips to the right, torso to your left. Inhale, reach up. Bring fingertips in front of your sternum, bend your knees, step or jump, feet wide, arms wide. Take your toes, turn them out, bend your knees wide, elbows bent, pull your elbows back down toward your hips and lift your sternum, pull your throat back and even lift your chin. Clamp your heels toward your hips. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs, turn left toes in, right toes all the way out. Take hips to the left, torso to your right, reach. Right hand to shin, ankle, floor, or block. Stack your hips, stack wrists and shoulders. Stack your head above your right foot, torso above your right leg. Extended side angle, bend your right knee. Either take right forearm to right thigh or right hand outside foot. Extend left arm beyond your ear. Tone and turn your abdomen to the left. Widen right knee to the right. Push more through your back foot as you reach more through your left arm. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, left hand to hip, look down. Step your back foot in one or many steps, right hand forward and to the right. Pick up your left leg, parallel to the floor, turn your toes out to the left. Stack your hips and shoulders, stack your wrists. Feel free to turn your gaze upward toward the ceiling for more challenge. Parshvo Tanasana. Lower your back foot 3/4 of the way back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Not here long. Lengthen your spine. Step your back foot back more. Lower your back knee. Tailbone forward. Lift your torso. Lift your arms. Anjaneyasana, monkey lunge. Press tailbone forward. Ribs back. Lift your sternum. Maybe curl back. Lower your hands inside your right foot. Sideways lunge. Turn your right toes in. Left heel to the floor. Left toes point up. Stay here. Lower your hips to your heel. If your right heel is down and you feel stable, feel free to lean back on your heel. Place your palms in front of your heart and lift up through your sternum. Reach to the top of your head. Clamp your left heel toward your left hip to turn on the back of your left thigh. Prasardapadu Tanasana. Straighten your legs, turn your toes straight ahead, make sure your feet are in line. Tone your thighs, lift your kneecaps, lean hips back, torso forward, and then fold heart first, head last in between your legs. Then rotate your sitting bones more toward the ceiling, pull your shoulders back and up away from your ears. Squeeze your feet down and toward each other, but push evenly through big toe and pinky toe edges of both feet. Inhale, lengthen. Hands on hips, shoulders back, stand up. Take your arms wide, right toes in, left toes out, tone thighs, lift kneecaps, hips to the right, torso to the left. Utthita Trikonasana to the second side. Tone and turn your abdomen toward the ceiling, stack hips, shoulders, wrists. Maybe turn your gaze upward. Extended side angle, bend your left knee, either left forearm to thigh or left hand outside foot. Extend your right arm beyond your ear. Push through your right foot, tone and turn your abdomen to the right. Reach through your right arm. Ardha Chandrasana, right hand to hip. Step in, one or many steps, left hand forward and to the left. Pick up your right leg parallel to the floor. Push down through your standing leg, tone your thigh, and lift your kneecap. Be as sideways as possible. Maybe lift your right arm. Maybe turn your gaze to the right. Parshvo Tanasana, very brief. Step back, 3/4 of the way, line up your heels, lengthen your spine, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, heart first, head last. Inhale, lengthen. Step your right leg back further, lower your right knee, tailbone forward, lift your torso, lift your arms, Anjaneyasana. Tailbone forward, lift your sternum, maybe go back. Sideways lunge, turn your left toes in, right heel to the floor, toes point up. Lower your left hip towards your left heel. Feel free to join your palms in front of your heart. Lift up through the top of your head. Prasardapadu Tanasana. Turn your toes straight ahead, line up your feet. Reach your inner thighs back, torso in between your legs, and fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, hands to hips. Slowly stand up. Bring fingertips in front of your chest, bend your knees, step or jump feet together, arms by your side. Take your right foot anywhere along the inner edge of your left leg as long as you're not pushing into your knee. I'm not mirroring. Place your palms in front of your heart. Push foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Stay working here or extend your arms over your head toward the ceiling. Feel free to separate your palms for straighter arms, otherwise palms together. Reach through all 10 fingertips. Push your right knee to the right and push it toward the floor. Pull your ribs back, tailbone forward. Lower your hands, lower your foot. Second side, take your left foot to your inner right thigh. Push foot into leg, leg into foot. Palms in front of your heart. Gaze at a steady point. Breathe here. Maybe reach your arms up. Widen left knee to the left. Push your knee toward the floor. Extend up through your armpits, through your fingertips. Move your ribs back, tailbone forward. Lower your hands. Lower your foot. Utthita Hasta. Root down through your left big toe mound. Pull your right knee toward your chest. Interlace your fingers around your shin and hold here for a couple of breaths. Make sure your pelvis is neutral rather than leaning forward or back. Try to keep your standing legs straight, thigh and kneecap toned, lifted. Stay working here. Or take left hand to hip, right arm inside your leg and grab your big toe, first 2 fingers and thumb. Then kick foot to or towards straight out in front of you. You can always use a strap, totally fine, instead of using your hand. Pull your right hip back, lengthen through the top of your head. If at any time you fall out while we're going through this, just slowly come back in, try again. Take your left arm to the left for more balance as you reach your right leg to the right. Watch out for a hip coming up like that. Try to tuck your outer right hip down, toes point straight up. Maybe gaze to the left past your left fingertips, opposite of the foot that's lifted. Look forward, bring your leg forward, switch your left hand to your outer foot or big toe. Grab right hip with your right hand. Tuck your outer right hip down, twist your torso to the right, keep your torso lifting taller, shoulders moving back, maybe reach your right arm back. Look forward, grab your foot with right hand, left hand to hip, hold, then lower your foot. Very good. All right, second side, pull your left knee up, grab your shin, knee high as you can with your hips neutral. Take a breath. Right hand to hip. Grab onto your left big toe or the outer edge of your foot. Push foot into hand, hand into foot, knee pointing straight up. Kick your leg forward. Push foot, hand into each other, reach through your standing foot, lift through the top of your head. Keep all of that engagement, lengthen. Keep all of that engagement, take your left leg to the left. Tuck outer left hip down and under, lengthen through the top of your head. Draw your shoulders back, lift through your heart. Feel free to use your right arm to the right. Maybe gaze to the right. Gaze forward, swing your leg forward, opposite hand to foot, left hand to hip, twist, push through your leg, pull with your right arm, maybe reach left arm behind you, gaze to the left. Turn forward, grab same hand to foot. Try not to fall. And then lower your foot to the floor. Come down onto your hands and knees. All fours. Then take your big toes together, knees just a little wider than your hips. Reach your right arm all the way open to the right. Parivritta Balasana. Take right arm under your left arm. Right shoulder and ear to the floor. Pull with your right arm, back of hand on the floor toward your shoulder, and then maybe walk your left hand forward and to the right. Push through your left arm and lift your left armpit away from your ear. Tack left hip back, right hip forward to square your hips. Walk your left hand back. Untwist, reach right arm all the way back up. Lower your hands to the floor. Take your left arm all the way open to the left. And then swing your left arm under your right arm, shoulder and ear to the floor. Pull with your left arm, pull your shoulder back. Walk your right hand forward and to the left. Push with your right arm. Press your right hip back, left hip forward. And breathe here. Walk your right hand back. Untwist, reach your left arm all the way open to the left. Then lower your hand to the floor. Come all the way down onto your belly. Set up as you would for Cobra pose with your hands underneath your arms, so halfway between your shoulder and your elbow. And then take your right arm off to the right, palm flat. Make sure your wrist is in line with your shoulder. Draw your right armpit away from the floor the whole time, and then roll onto your outer right hip. Scoot your hips slightly forward. Keep your hips stacked. Stay here. Lift your left leg, bend your knee, and step your foot behind you to the floor. And then maybe rest your right ear on the floor. Really trying to open up these shoulders before we get into the binding. Slowly roll out. Switch sides. Take your left arm to the left, palm flat, move your shoulder back, and roll onto your outer left hip. Scoot your hips slightly forward. Then from here, lift your right leg, bend your knee, maybe step your foot behind you. Always feel free to go back to a previous variation. Maybe rest your head on the floor. Slowly roll back out. Come back to your belly. Make sure your flesh is even underneath you. You can pull yourself forward so your flesh moves down. And then take your arms alongside your torso. Close your fingers, point your palms up for Shalabhasana 1. Squeeze your inner ankles toward each other, thumbs into your thighs. Move your shoulders back, feet down, lift your torso up. Push your hips down. Lift up through the backs of your shoulders. Then lift your head. Try not to crunch your neck back. Just lift the back of your head toward the ceiling without closing off the gap between your head and your neck. Stay working here, or tone your thighs, lift your kneecaps, lift your legs, lift your arms. Move everything up away from the floor as best as you can as you push your hips down. Reach back through your fingers, back through your toes, but lift your legs up, arms up. Rest. Take one side of your face down on the floor. Relax everything. Switch sides so your other side of your face is on the floor. Look forward. Come up to all fours, and then come back into downward facing dog. Step or jump forward. And then stand up, grab your strap. You can totally do this without the strap. You don't need to have it. I'm just going to teach it with it just in case. Come into a wide stance like you did earlier for your triangle side angle poses. Make sure your toes point in a little bit, heels a little wider than your pinky toe. Go ahead and take your strap into your left hand. Take your hands to your hips, and then turn your right toes out to the right. Bend your right knee like warrior two, and then take your right elbow to your right thigh. Take your left arm up. Point your left palm back, and then bend your elbow as you swing your arm back behind you towards your outer right hip. And then take your right arm inside your leg, and then under your leg, move your shoulder back, and then reach for the strap. You might be able to crawl your fingers up closer towards your other fingers. And if you can grab onto your fingers, you can drop the strap and do it like that. Otherwise, grab onto your strap, push your shoulders back, and then push your hips forward as you lift up through your sternum, and then tone and turn your abdomen toward the ceiling, maybe gaze upward. Whether you have your strap or not, walk your back foot in toward your right foot a couple of inches, and then work your right leg as straight as it will go. It might not straighten all the way, and that's fine. Keep your torso twisting to the left for revolved triangle. Nope. Keep your torso twisting to the left for bound triangle. Bend your knee, and then slowly come out and stand up. If you dropped your strap, grab your strap. Take your strap into your right hand, feet wide. And then turn your left toes out. Bend your left knee, left forearm to thigh. Take your right arm up, then point your palm backwards. Bend your elbow, swing your arm back behind you toward your outer left hip. Then take your left arm inside your leg, under your leg. Maybe grab for your strap or grab for your fingers and drop your strap. Tone and turn your abdomen toward the ceiling. Push your hips forward, torso back. Lift your sternum out in front of you. And then maybe turn your gaze. Stay working here, or walk your back foot in. Work your left leg towards straight, stay in your twist. And breathe here. This is the same similar shape as Bird of Paradise, with your left leg straight like this, just in a different plane. Bend your knee, unbind your arms, stand up, turn your toes in. Bring your fingertips in front of your chest, bend your knees, step or jump your feet together. Arms by your side. If your strap is on your mat, just set it to the side. You're gonna come back to it. And then come up to the front of your mat, bend your knees, and then step your left leg way back as you take your fingertips to the floor under your shoulders. So you're in a high lunge. Lower your back knee to the floor. Take your right hand to your right thigh and lift your left arm way up. Try to do a crescent to the right, and then twist. Take your armpit as close to outside your thigh as you can. In order to get the bind later on, you're gonna have to have your armpit flush with your outer thigh, or you're gonna use a strap. So you can stay here or join your palms and then curl your toes under. So we don't need the strap just yet. Lift your back knee up and then twist to your right. Now stay here or spin your back heel to the floor. Take your left hand to the floor, right arm up, and then take your right arm beyond your ear. Bound side angle. Everyone's favorite. Now join your palms again. Stay with me. Lift your back heel. Look down. Bend your left knee. Lean your weight into your right foot. Try to flamingo your left foot off the floor so your knees are next to each other. Left heel toward your hip. And lower your foot. Then lift your left heel back up. I know your right leg's burning. Reach your left leg back. Step back. And then come out. Try not to fall. Do a down dog. Then step or jump forward. Lengthen your spine. And step your right leg back. Take your knee down. Left hand to thigh, reach your right arm up. Crescent to the left. And then twist. Get as much armpit outside your thigh as you can. And then join your palms. Curl your back toes under. Lift your knee up. Maybe spin your back heel down. Maybe take right hand to the floor, left arm up. And maybe reach your left arm beyond your ear. You can do the arm without lowering your back heel. Your heel can still be up. Join your palms in front of your heart. Lift your back heel. Try not to fall. And then step your right knee next to your left knee. Try to hover your right foot off the floor, heel to hip. Lower your foot. Heel to hip. Step back. Downward dog. Oh, fantastic. Child's pose. Knees wide, big toes together. Forehead, tip of nose to the floor. Take slow, steady breaths. Walk your hands back by your ears, move your shoulders back, and slowly sit back up. Grab your strap. It's gonna be great. Stand up and come into your wide stance. Take your strap into your right hand. It'll make sense later. Turn your right toes out, left toes in sharply. Square your hips over your right leg. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Now, bend your right knee. Take right hand to thigh, left arm up. Crescent to your right. Then twist, take your armpit outside your thigh. Get as best as you can, armpit to thigh as you can. And then once you feel ready, take your right arm up, back behind you, point your palm back just like you did in the side angle one. Bend your elbow, take your hand outside your left hip. Now, take your left arm underneath. You might have to use your hand, like heel toeing your hand on your thigh to reach and grab the strap. And it might not happen today. If it doesn't happen today, don't worry about it. Just do as best as you can. Maybe join your palms instead. From here, stay, put your shoulder into your knee, knee into your shoulder. Maybe step your left foot next to your right foot. Oh, and then step your left foot back. Unbind. And then stand up. Oh, so much work. All right. Turn your right toes forward. Take your strap into your left hand. Turn your right toes in, left toes out. Bend your left knee. Take your right arm up, crescent to the left, and then twist. Get as deep in your twist as you can. Your back heel can be up or down, your choice. And then take your left arm up, Point your palm back, bend your elbow, and then maybe slide your fingers. Use your hand on your thigh to wiggle your hand under your thigh and maybe grab the strap if it's available. Otherwise, maybe just join your palms. Stay working here, look down at the floor, make your eyes like lasers, and then step your right foot next to your left foot. Right foot back. Unbind. Awesome. Stand up. All right, from here, take your feet wide, do a forward fold here. Hands under your shoulders, walk them back. And just take a breather. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. Pull your shoulders away from the floor, up towards your hips. And then lengthen your spine, hands to hips, shoulders back, and stand up. Bring your fingertips in front of your chest, bend your knees, step or jump feet together. All right, standing baby cradle, bend your knees, cross your right ankle over your left knee, clamp your heel toward your hip as you widen your right knee to the right. Then sit your bottom way back, weight in your heel, and then you can stay here, totally fine, or grab foot and knee with your hands, or scoop up your leg with your hands, elbows under your calf, or wrap your arms around your foot and your knee, baby cradle. Interlace fingers if you're here. Stand up, take your leg with you, push through your left heel, lift through your torso. Try to get your right shin parallel to the floor rather than heel pointing down. And breathe. Slowly bend your knee, lower your foot to the floor, stand up. All right, second side, cross your ankle over your knee. We're almost there. Clamp your heel toward your hip, hands to your shin or ankle. Set your bottom way back, weight in your heel. You choose your hand position, grab foot and knee, scoop up your leg, or wrap your arms around your foot and knee. Stand up, push through your heel, take your leg with you. Shin parallel to the floor if you can, or in that direction. And slowly lower your foot. Stand up. All right, here we are. So grab your strap. Again, you don't have to use a strap. I'm just recommending it. And go ahead and take your strap into your left hand and turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee. Take right forearm to thigh. Take your left arm up. Point your palm back. Bend your elbow. Take strap and hand outside your right hip. Take your right arm under your right leg. And then maybe reach back for the strap or for your fingers. Now pull your shoulders back against your leg, tailbone forward, lift up your sternum, and then try to get your torso as sideways as possible. All right, here we go. Step your left foot forward, and then turn your right toes forward, and then slide your right foot next to your left heel. Try to keep your right big toe touching your left inner leg, starting from your ankle here. This might be where you stay. Make sure you pull your shoulder against your leg. Stay here or push through your left leg like crazy, and then stand up. Let your hips drop a little bit, and then push your left leg straight. Pull your right leg back, shoulders back, and we're here. You can stay here or kick your leg towards straight if it feels safe for you to do so. And breathe. Gaze to the left if you want. Bird of paradise. Bend your knee. Beautiful flower. Lower your foot. Release your hands. Yeah, awesome. All right, take your legs wide. Strap in your right hand. Turn your left toes out. Bend your knee. Forearm to thigh. Right arm up. Palm pointing back. Bend your elbow. Reach your torso underneath, shoulder under your leg. Grab your strap or your fingers. Turn your torso toward the ceiling, side angle bound. Stay here, or turn your left toes in. Step your right foot in. Left foot next to right foot. Stay working here, or sit your hips low to start. Push through your heel, move your shoulders back, lift your torso, and then push through your right leg to stand up. And one side will be harder. If you're up, maybe just work here, or kick your leg towards straight. Maybe gaze to your right. Turn your gaze forward, bend your knee, lower your foot, unbind. Drop your chat for a moment, shake out your arms, shake out your legs. It's going great. Here's the really difficult one. So we're doing the revolved variation of Bird of Paradise. So go ahead and take your strap into your right hand. Take your feet wide. Turn your left toes in sharply, right toes out. Bend your right knee. Lift your left arm up. Twist to your right. Take armpit outside your thigh. Then take your right arm up. Point your palm back, bend your elbow. Maybe reach for the strap. And again, maybe don't. And it's okay if you don't do this today. Stay working here. Or step your left foot forward. Lean into your left foot. Take your right big toe next to your left ankle. Push through your left heel. Keep your right knee bent as you stand up. Try to level out torso above your hips. Push your left leg straighter. Do or don't straighten your right leg. And maybe gaze beyond your right shoulder. Bend your knee. Feel free to just unbind here and come out, or lower your foot, then unbind and stand up. Yeah, all right, take your strap into your left hand. Last side, we're almost there. Turn your left toes out, right toes in sharply. Take your right arm up, bend your left knee, twist. Get as deep as you can in your twist. Take your left arm up, point palm back, bend your elbow, reach it down. Maybe grab your strap, finagle your way under your thigh with your hand. If you've got your strap, stay working here. Or hop, right foot forward. Stay working here. Feel free to give yourself more space on your strap. Lean into your right foot, shoulder back. Stay here, push through your right foot, lift off. And kick your leg towards straight. Maybe turn your gaze. Both sides will be different. And then when you feel ready, bend your knee, lower your foot, and stand up. Good job. Downward facing dog. Set your strap somewhere. You don't need it anymore. Take some deep breaths. Acknowledge your efforts, whether you got into the poses or not. It's all a process. It's never about the final pose. It's always about the journey. Lower your knees to the floor. Lower your belly to the floor. This one might feel pretty good after all that. Bend your knees. Reach back, grab your outer feet, Dandasana. Push feet into hands, hands into feet. Move your shoulders back, kick back, and lift your knees up. Maybe rock forward and back. Feel free to just let your knees stay down and just kick back with your feet, just for the arm stretch. Totally up to you. And rest. Take a moment. Roll onto your back. Situ Bandasana bridge pose. Take your elbows outside your ribs. One at a time, walk your shoulders underneath you. Push your head, shoulders, feet down, lift your hips. Grab your mat or interlace fingers underneath you. Walk your shoulders in. Keep pushing head, shoulders, feet down, lift through your outer hips. It doesn't have to be anything super deep today, just enough to get a stretch in the front of your chest. Release your hands. Take your hips down to the floor. Take your arms out like cactus arms. And then just let your knees windshield wiper side to side, staggering as you move. Slow your breathing. 5 counts in, 5 counts out. Next time your legs go to the left, keep them there. Stay here, hook your left foot to your right thigh. Push foot into leg, leg into foot. Maybe reach up with your arms, grab onto your right wrist with your left hand along the floor beyond your head. Reach in opposite directions. Extend your knee toward the wall rather than the floor. And then let go of your foot. Come back up, hips to center. Switch sides, let your knees drop to the right. Hook foot over thigh. Push foot into leg, leg into foot. Maybe grab left wrist with your right hand and pull up. Slow, steady breaths. Tell your nervous system it's time to calm. Release your wrist, lower your foot, come back up, hips to center. From inside your legs, grab outside your feet. Happy baby. Push feet up into hands, hands into feet. Maybe rock side to side. Slide your hands down your feet. Pull your heels toward your sitting bones. Let your knees go wide. Rest your legs while you hold your legs up with your hands. And draw your legs in toward your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a hug. And whenever you feel ready, slide all the way into Shavasana. Feel free to rest in traditional form on your back, legs a little wider than your hips, toes pointing out, arms a little wider than your torso, palms pointing up. And just push your head down to like slide your shoulders underneath you a little bit. And then relax everything. Feel free to rest in any other position you find more comfortable and restful. Be here for at least 5 minutes if you can, and gently enter into the rest of your day afterwards. Thank you all so much for coming to practice with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.